Don't know Vergiss die Welt, um die Welt zu beherrschen.
Ma vision débridée se cache au-delà de crépuscule.
Ani Peter Peckett, uvolat mina givet o tanne alai. Ani kawa, se yun wong jen jardau shuko. No inizio, o fine, ma una strada.
To love, she got to down ma matrice.
Der Moment, dass ich mein zuerst liebesgeschickter Hörner vorgekommen, die zu suchen.
Jushita. For what reason? Jushi Dongren Deta. Someone is coming.
She got the dame matrice. Bois mon lait, crie mon nom, et trempe ma l'esprit avec son attouchement passionné.
Il momento in cui ho sentito la mia prima storia d'amore. Ho cominciato a cercarti. I am caught. Ma mi schwach, se mi vedo e io con l'ali di staffer. Jardaushukov, San Lexis, Pietike Strifon, Eurodo che Galimo. Io storia sì, fretti tutte le notti per ritornare il mattino. È tutto tua gelma, e i sicoti. Lento est antico puiefe, verasse apota healing muke mesas toneras. Leading me down a path I do not know.
Personne te lave dans mes bras, comme la flamme devient le feu. Il vent embrasse ma joue, et mes cordes vocales chantent ma vie.
Bong mong dao de hong xin, woven ways rush way.
C'est un album, potesse volare via.
Io non soffrievo la sera. Stigmi, accusa. Ti pronti mua storia. Ti zaga pischi tasa non se pro. Non sapendo.
Not knowing
How blind that was. Oh, who she's rude. It wild power.
Du, der Zucker auf Lust. Löse mich. Oh, sie seid gekommen.
This desire will find that opening.
Du hast mit einem milden Wort.
For a look.
Jeden Morgen, beim Sonnenaufgehen, warte so bei im Mars, ist geschehen.
Wer hat die Not?
Oder so, ist plötzlich, wie eine Richtung.
There is no companion but love, no inizio. Oh, fine, ma una strada. How else can I be ready for death? Oh, Timigi, I should not.
I breathe without a body like a spark.
I breathe without a body like a spark. I breathe like a body. I breathe without a body like a spark. I breathe without a body. I breathe without a body like a spark. My breathlessly up. It carries me here, it opens my heart. You breathe without a body like a spark. You breathe, and I begin to feel lighter. This desire will find an opening. Desire will find an opening.
Behind the door, discoveries are made.
There's a strange frenzy in my head. There's a strange frenzy in my head. The birds flying, each particle circulating on its own. Is the one I love everywhere?
I read the story of the lovers day and night. Through love, bitter things seem sweet. Through love, thorns become roses.
I read the story of the lovers day and night.
Through love, vinegar becomes sweet wine. Through love, stings are as honey.
I read the story of the lovers day and night.
Through love, wrath is as mercy. Through love, the dead rise to life. Through love, the king becomes a slave. I read the story of the lovers day and night. Now I have become a story in my love for you.
Now my loving is running toward my life, shouting, what a bargain, let's buy it. Is love everywhere? This desire will find an opening.
Blessed moment. Here we sit in this palace of love, you and I.
Listen, if you can stand to, union with a lover means not being who you've been.
You breathe without a body like a spark.
You breathe, and I begin to feel lighter.
I can break off from anyone except that presence within. Behind that same varnished, stained door, I sinned a sin full of pleasure in an embrace which was warm and fiery. We had two shapes, two bodies, but a single soul, you and I. Listen if you can stand.
One went to the door of the beloved and knocked. A voice asked, "Who is there?" He answered, "It is I."
I seemed surrounded by arms that were hot and avenging iron. Desire sparked a flame in his eyes. Red wine danced in the cup.
Sulphur sugar, dissolve me if this is the time.
In the soft bed, my body drunkenly quivered on his chest.
I went to the door of the beloved and knocked. A voice within asked, who is there?
He answered, "It is I."
There is no room for me and you.
After a year of deprivation and solitude, he returned to the door and knocked.
A voice within asked, who is there?
He answered, "It is you."
The door was opened for him.
The colors of the gardens and the songs of the birds in the flower beds will make us immortal, you and I.
Dissolve your sugar, dissolve me if this is the time. Do it with the touch of a hand or a look. Each morning I wait at dawn, that's what has happened before.
It was suddenly, like an execution. How else can I be ready for death?
Quit existing.
The stars of heaven will come out to gaze at us. We will show the stars and the moon herself, you and I. In the dark and silence of mood, when I looked into his secretful eyes, my heart impatiently shook in my breast in response to the request of his needful eyes.
When I am with you, we stay up all night. When you're not here, I can't go to sleep. Praise God for these two insomnias and the difference between them.
United in ecstasy, we shall no longer be, you and I. I whispered in his ear the tale of love. I want you a life of mine. I want you a life-giving embrace, so praise lover mine, you.
There's a strange frenzy in my head of birds flying, each particle circulating on its own. He's the one I love everywhere.
Rescued from foolish babble, we shall rejoice, you and I.
The one who floods the private sanctuary I built, who takes away sleep, who drags and throws me under, that presence is the joy I speak. Intellectuals are all the time showing off. Lovers dissolve and become bewildered.
Dissolve from sugar, Dissolve me if it is the time.
When you are with everyone but me, you're with no one. When you're with no one but me, you're with everyone. Instead of being so bound up with everyone, be everyone. When you become that many, you're nothing. Empty.
This night, there are no limits to what may be given. This is not a night, but a marriage. A couple whispering in bed in unison the same words. Darkness simply lets down a curtain for that.
I sin. A sin full of pleasure next to a shaking, stupefied form. Oh God, who knows what I did in that dark and quiet seclusion?
All the bright-plumed birds of paradise will plunge into grief
When they hear us laughing merrily, you and I.
Anyone can bring gifts. Give me someone who takes away.
God knows what I did in that dark and quiet seclusion.
Intellectuals try not to drown, while the whole purpose of love is drowning. Intellectuals invent ways to rest, and then lie down on those beds. Lovers feel ashamed of their comforting ideas. It is a night full of talking that hurts. All of my worst held back secrets.
Everything has to do with loving and not loving. Young lovers like to drink red wine and listen to love songs. But there's another lover, another wine, another love song.
You've seen a glove of oil on water. That is how the lover sits with intellectuals. There, alone, in the circle of herself. Some intellectual tries to give the lover sound advice, and all she hears back is, I love you.
I love you. I love you.
Love is musk. Don't deny it when you smell the scent. Love is a tree, and the lover is the shade of the long branches. Left behind, the child must learn to grow up and be adult to be adult. But in the station of love, you see men getting younger and younger and younger.
The night full of talking that hurts. This night will pass, then we have work to do.
The shroud of hypocrisy that binds my breasts is suffocating me. The oasis between my legs serves as target practice for overly zealous marksmen. I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed geisha.
Listen if you can stand to. Union with the friend means not being who you've been.
I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed geisha. My reflection mirrors only a shadow which scrapes the skin off my back and brow.
I can break off from anyone except that presence within.
I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed geisha. My bound feet tiptoe tentatively across a minefield of yellow and blue linoleum.
A hand shifts our bird cages around. Some are brought closer, some move apart. Do not try to reason it out. Be conscious of who draws you and who not.
I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed geisha. No questions asked. The eye goes blind when it only wants to see why.
Be with those who help you be. Don't sit with indifferent people whose breath comes cold out of their mouths. Not these forms. Your work is deeper.
In my small night, the wind has a date with the leaves of the trees. In my small night,
There is agony of destruction.
Stay together, friend. Let's not scatter and sleep.
listen. Do you hear the darkness blowing?
Our friendship is made of staying awake.
To watch and listen to those two is to understand how, as it's written, sometimes when two beings come together, love becomes visible.
I look upon this bliss
As a stranger,
I am addicted
to my despair. The one who floods the private sanctuary I built, who takes away my sleep, who drags and throws me under.
That presence is the joy I speak.
Listen if you can stand to.
Listen. Do you hear the darkness blowing?
Jasmine comes up where you step. You breathe on dirt and it blows off like a kite. You wash your hands in the water, you throw out shines with gold.
You recite the first line and all the dead commentators lift their heads.
Your robe brushes a thorn bush, and a deep chord of music comes. Listen. Do you hear the darkness blowing?
Something is passing in the night. The moon is restless and red, and above the rooftops, where crumbling is a constant fear, clouds like a procession of mourners seem to be waiting for the moment of rain.
Stay together, friends. Don't scatter and sleep. Our friendship is made of staying awake. The water wheel accepts water and turns and gives it away weeping. Whereas another roundness rolls through a dry riverbed, looking for what it thinks it wants. Stay together, friends. Stay here, quivering with each moment like a drop of mercury.
Friend sits by friend, and the tablets appear. They read the mysteries off each other's foreheads. This night, there are no limits to what may be given. This is not a night, but a marriage. A couple whispering in bed in unison the same words. Darkness simply lets down a curtain for that.
A moment, and then nothing. Night shudders beyond this window. The earth winds to a halt beyond this window. Something unknown is watching you and me.
No questions asked. The eye goes blind when it only wants to see why.
Everything you break finds itself more intelligent for being broken. Every day a new creature stands in the courtyard of your chest like Adam, without a father or a mother, but the beginning of many generations to come.
I should grind that line 50 times. The beginning of many generations to come. A line without any inclination to end. But I won't. I close my mouth in the hopes that you'll open yours.
I close my mouth in the hopes that you'll open yours. A mouth is not for talking. A mouth is for tasting the sweetness.
Oh, green from head to foot. Place your hands like a burning memory in my loving hands. Give your lips to the caresses of my loving lips. Like the warm perception of being, the wind will take us.
The wind will take us. The wind will take us.
On Resurrection Day, your body testifies against you. Your hands as I stole money, your lips I said meanness. Your feet I went where I shouldn't. Your genitals, me too. They'll make your praying sound hypocritical. Let the bodies do and speak openly now without you saying a word. Like a student who walks behind a teacher says, this one knows more clearly than I the way.
You don't have good days and bad days. You don't sometimes feel brilliant and sometimes dumb. There is no teaching, no scholarly thinking having to do with love. But there is a great deal of plotting, and secret touching, and nights you cannot remember at all.
God called to his prophet and said, come out from under your cloak, you so fond of hiding and running away. Don't cover your face. The world is a drunken, reeling body, and you are its intelligent head. Forget the world, and so command the world. Be in the assembly, and take charge of it.
Dance. Stay here and dance. Dance. When you have torn the bandage off.
Dance in the middle of the fighting.
Dance in your blood.
Dance when you are broken open.
Dance when you are perfectly free.
As the wave turns to foam on its very top begins. Maybe you don't hear that tambourine, or the tree leaves clapping time. Close the ears on your head that listen to mostly lies and cynical jokes. There are other things to see and hear. Dance, music, and a brilliant city inside the soul.
Oh, this poetry. I never know what I'm going to say. I don't plan it. Moses saw a shepherd praying by the side of the road.
God, where are you?
I want to help you.
I want to fix your shoes and comb your hair.
I want to wash your clothes and pick the lice off.
I want to bring you milk. And I want to kiss your little hands and feet when it is time for you to go to bed.
I want to sweep your room and keep it clean.
God, my sheep and goats are yours.
All I can say remembering you is
Moses could stand it no longer. Who are you talking to?
The one who made us.
The one who made the earth.
The one who made the sky.
Don't talk to God about shoes and socks. And what's this about your little hands and feet? Such blasphemous familiarity sounds like you're chatting with your uncle. Only something that grows needs milk. Only something with feet needs shoes, not God. Use appropriate terms. Body and birth language are fine for us on this side of the river, but not for addressing the origin, not for talking to God. The shepherd repented, tore his clothes, sighed, and wandered out into the desert. A sudden revelation came then to Moses. God's voice. You have separated me from one of my own. Did you come as a prophet to unite or to separate? I have given each being a unique way of seeing and saying and knowing this knowledge. What is wrong to you is right for him. Purity and impurity, sloth and diligence in worship, these mean nothing to me. It's not me that's glorified in acts of worship. It's the worshipers. I don't hear the words they say. I look inside with humility. That broken, open loneliness is the reality, not the language. Forget phraseology. I want burning. Burning. Make friends with your burning. Moses ran after the shepherd. He followed the bewildered footprints in one place, going straight, like a castle, across a chessboard, in another, sideways, like a fish, in another, surging upwards like a wave cresting, in another, sliding down like a fish. In each place, the shepherd's footprints making geomancy symbols in the earth, recording his wandering state. Finally, Moses caught up to the shepherd. I was wrong.
What?
I was wrong.
Why?
God has revealed to me that there are no rules for worship. So do whatever and however your loving tells you. Your sweet blasphemy is the truest devotion. Through you, whole worlds are freed. So loosen your tongue and don't worry what comes out. It's all the light of the Spirit.
I have gone beyond even that. The divine nature and my human nature have come together.
Whenever you speak praise or thanksgiving to God, it's always like this dear shepherd's simplicity. When you look through the veils to see how things really are, you will say to yourself again and again,
This is certainly not like we thought it was.
There is a small green island where one white cow lives, alone. A meadow island. The cow grazes till nightfall, full and fat. But she panics during the night and grows thin as a single hair. What shall I eat tomorrow? There's nothing left. By morning, the grass has grown up again, waist high. The cow starts eating, and by dark, the meadow is clipped short. She's full of strength and energy. But she panics in the darkness as before and grows abnormally thin overnight. The cow does this over and over for many years. And this is all she does. She never stops to think This meadow has never failed to grow back. Why should I be afraid every night that it won't? The cow is the bodily soul. The island field is this world where that grows lean with fear and fat with blessing. Lean and fat. Lean. White cow, don't make yourself miserable with what's to come or not to come.
If you want to kiss the beloved, touch your own lips to your own fingers. The beauty of every woman and every man is your own beauty. How much to describe and explain love? When we fall in love, we are ashamed of our words.
Explanations by the tongue make most things clear, but love, unexplained, is clear. Hasten to write, upon reaching the subject of love, the pen split its way. The moon does not desire to be described. No one needs this poetry. The loose hair strands of a beautiful woman don't need a comb.
I am Nicholas Longman. I call the garden graveyard. I get drunk and beat on doors and walls, trying to show that I am so tired of death. I carry my swear my ID, my pen, my swear is so strong. It's lost, it's tight, it's round like that.
All day I think about that. And then at night I say it. Where did I come from? What am I supposed to be doing? I have no idea. My soul is elsewhere, I am sure of that. And I intend to end up there. I don't like it here. I want to go back. I'm riding through a frightening desert on a horse with a broken bridle. I have no more control over this than a bird sundering a geese. I don't like it here. Where am I going?
Don't let others lead you. They may be blind or worse, vultures. Reach for the rope of God. Don't insist on going where you think you want to go. Ask the way to the spring. Think of whoever gave you thought. Walk toward whoever gave you feet. Off bounds I broke your thread, a loaf or two, until God gives the next food.
Someone once said, or wrote, an intellectual is all the time showing off. An intellectual, much like myself, I suppose. My wife says I'm an intellectual. My wife says intellectuals try not to drown while the whole purpose of love is drowning. How prophetic. Is she trying to say that I don't know how to love? Or somehow unable to love because I'm an intellectual? Or simply unable to love despite the fact that I'm an intellectual? I know how to love. Well, what is an intellectual anyway? Well, according to the OED, an intellectual can be described as one who has the capacity for higher forms of knowledge. As you can see, I've done my research, as any fine intellectual would. It's all really terribly silly, isn't it? Questions concerning the self are rather silly. Well, one can only speak for oneself. However, in my profession as a psychiatrist, I speak for others constantly. No, that's not true. I listen and offer insight. There's never an answer to a question. Oh, a question concerning the self, mind you. Oh, yes, I can tell you for a fact that there are 180 degrees in a circle, but how does that... My God. It's not right, is it? It's 360, isn't it? 360 degrees in a circle, well! I guess I can't tell you that. Regardless, I think you follow me. The point being, how does a circle with how so many ever degrees relate to me? doesn't. Never will.
I was naked when I woke up. I was alone. I was so alone. I was scared. I was scared because the night before and most of the previous day were black. They were completely black. I didn't know how I got home, how I got into my bed, how my clothes got off me. I couldn't even find my clothes from the night before. My stomach. It was so tight, so sore, like I'd done 1,000 sit-ups. In fact, my whole body was sore. And then I caught my reflection in the bathroom mirror. Who is this person staring back at me? She looks so small, so weak, like a timid sparrow about to fly off the ledge. In that mirror, I could see the vomit dried in my hair. And then I could smell the vomit. And I started to retch, but it wasn't from the smell. It was because glimpses from the night before began bombarding my mind, each flash stabbing a different part of my body. It was like I was standing outside of myself, watching someone who looked just like me star in this slideshow. I saw men. There were a lot of men. There's beer. We're drinking. I'm at the fraternity house. Why don't I see any women here? I see myself. And I'm dancing, and I'm drinking, and I'm sweating, and dancing, and kissing. Kissing. Who am I kissing? I don't know who this is. And now there's another man, and he's kissing me too, and I don't know who he is. What have I done? What have I done? Nothing. I've done nothing. In that same mirror, my roommate's reflection appears. She was clean, luminous in her Sunday clothes, and the gleam of her black patent pumps stabbed my eyes, and suddenly I see a policeman's shiny shoes, and the glint of his gun in its belt as he bends down to pick up some pathetic, drunken girl who's lying on the ground screaming, "Help! I've fallen and I can't get up!" But it's not funny. I'm trying to tell you about my pain and my fear. They're so big. They're so strong. They're crushing me. I'm small. I'm weak. They're taking me over. Each night I run to the taverns to escape from them. Each night I drink myself blind to get out of this strange frenzy inside my head. Can't you see this? You're big. You're strong. Can't you help me? Are you listening to me? Are you? Are you listening to me?
When I was a little boy, my mother used to ask me, "Bill, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I'd say, "A good man." A good man. She really liked that. But now I'm 24 years old, and I think I'm a pretty good person. I mean, I've got a steady job working on Xerox machines. My boss says I'm pretty good at it. She thinks I'm responsible. I don't smoke cigarettes or do drugs, drink alcohol in moderation, but I never drive an automobile when I've been drinking. Got a wonderful girlfriend named Sandy. Well, we have very safe sex. She gave me this tie, as a matter of fact. The other night we were sitting in this little Italian restaurant, and, well, I was talking about work. which is something I try never to do because of the technical nature of my job and the fact that if you don't know about Xerox machines, it just kind of sounds like a whole lot of numbers and letters. Well, for example, the other day I was working on a Xerox 5090, and I was having 10102 jams with FuserCam systems faults and problems with the ADH. Well, that's automatic document handler. You know that thing you put the papers in and it sucks them by and it goes whir? Well, anyway, I was talking to Sandy about how I really enjoyed working during the summer months because when I'd be getting ready for work at about 6 o'clock in the morning, I could look out my window and watch the sunrise. Well, as opposed to the winter months when the sun doesn't come up till about 7:15 or so, at which time I'm already at work. Well, it's kind of like going to sleep in darkness and waking up in darkness, and you're inside all day and you kind of feel like you've missed the whole thing. And while I'm talking, all of a sudden Sandy leans over and asks me why I stopped shaving. Well, I looked at her and I said I didn't know, and I asked how she'd like me with a beard. She said I'd scratched her chin when I kissed her. So I said I was sorry, and I looked down at my plate of linguine and I started thinking about why I had stopped shaving. I mean, I used to really love shaving. See, my grandfather, he gave me this antique ivory-handled straight razor for my 21st birthday. And when I was a little kid, I used to watch him shave with it. Sharpen it up on that leather strap, and he'd lather up his face with that brush, and he'd shave. And well, every morning that I looked in the mirror, I'd think about that. I'd think about him, and I'd feel good. Except one morning, when I looked in the mirror, I couldn't think about anything. It was like I didn't recognize the person in the mirror. I mean, of course it was me, but it didn't look like me. It looked like some guy with these red eyes, this gray skin. He looked so scared. He looked so lost. For a long time I seriously contemplated whether or not to shave, or to cut my throat. And while I'm in the restaurant looking down at my plate of linguine, I start seeing this face. I start seeing these red eyes and this gray skin. Except all of a sudden, now this tomato sauce, it starts looking like blood. And I start to panic a little bit. I mean, I start to get really freaked out because here I am in this restaurant full of people that I don't know, and I feel like that at any moment I could just stand up and go, why am I here? What am I doing here? Who am I? Why can't I just turn to this woman sitting next to me and say, I love you. I love you. I love you. Forget everything else. I love you. I love you. Nothing else matters. Nothing else is as important as you. I love you. How could anything be as a tenth of as much as importance as my love for you? I love you. I love you. My loving, it's sitting inside my chest and it's begging to get out. It's pleading to get out. It's scratching to get out. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes a battering ram. And it tries to break through this pathetic shell that has to get up every morning and go to work on time and do this and do that and be responsible and be safe. Well, I don't want to be safe. I love you. I love you. I love you. My loving. It's burning right out through the top of my head. I love you. I love you. I'm standing here digging my toes into the concrete just to keep from flying off the surface of this planet because I love you. I love you. And right about the time that the beads of sweat start breaking out on my forehead, Sandy leans over and asks me if I'm all right. I look at her. I say, sure. I'm fine. Of course I'm fine.
I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree, or water running down my face, or a suitcase, or a cowboy hat, or you. Oh, imprisoned voice! Shall the glory of your despair ever make its way
out of this hated night. God has left us, thrown up his hands and given up on the lot of us. The sun has cooled, and fertility left the soil. Our greed has dragged us down to the bottom of our souls, and we found nothing. Just an endless swarm of excuses and justifications screaming out for their mother, wailing for mama to come and shove the breast of truth in their mouths so that they can feel like something other than illegitimate. But Mother Truth is off fucking Father Compromise. In the eyes of mirrors, motions, colors, images are reflected in reverse. And over the heads of vile jesters, and around the faces of shameless whores, there shines a luminous halo. Swamps of alcohol, steaming with acrid poisonous gases, drag down to their depths the inert mass of the intellectuals. And verminous mice gnaw through pages of gilded books stacked in ancient closets. No wonder Yahweh's fled. He couldn't stand us. He couldn't stand the creatures he's created in his own image. Maybe he saw a little bit too much of us in him. So he's washed his hands of us and gone off to try some other cases. He's left us on protection, though, or one foot nailed to the floor. It serves as a conscience, preventing us from running off and acting on our feelings. It keeps us from getting too close to each other, because if we did, we might find out that everyone else is as empty and jealous and useless as we are. So you're content. Content to run in circles and be mindless, willless, hopeless. No longer we think of love. No longer we think of victory. No longer any of us thinks of anything. Sometimes a spark, an infinitesimal spark, will blast to the core of this silent, lifeless throng. We will rush at each other. We will slit one another's throats, and amidst pools of blood rape underaged virgins. We are full of our own terror, and a frightening feeling of guilt paralyzes our blinded, blunt spirits. Well, I am not one of these men. No, I am not one of you. How could you? Your only chance at life, and all you do is use it to destroy each other? You go back to your circular treadmills, you take your soma, and don't include me on your human race. I don't want any part of it. Wasted bodies, wasted minds, wasted words.
I am so serious. I'm just so damn serious about everything.
Seriously.
There's not an action, a thought, a decision even that isn't fraught with serious contemplation. Hours spent contemplating what if and what others will think, but maybe. There must have been a revolving door in another life, or at least a person caught in one. You can start laughing any time now. I came to this big city a few years ago, probably because someone commented that if I was serious about the path I was pursuing, this is where I needed to be. And I treated it like I do every other new city, new job, new apartment, new book, new friend, new relationship, new man, new diet, new religion. Very seriously. You see, I am truly blessed. The universe continues to provide me with what I need. These things fall into my hands easily, effortlessly, and I quickly embrace this newness, merge with it, swallow it whole. It's like diving in off a bridge with all your clothes on. But I never hit the water. I seem to freeze midair, somewhere halfway between where I've come from and where I think I want to go. And then before you know it, I'm back on the bridge starting something new. Well, it's time I feel the water. I was driving to Nashville last week to visit a friend and give some serious thought to becoming a country singer. And halfway there, as I'm driving along, this voice tells me, Lucy, it's time to go home. Seriously. It's time to go home. That's all I said. It was a soft voice, simple, but I felt it loud and clear. It's time to go home. Back to the town where I was born and raised, where my brothers and sisters have all remained and started families of their own, to where my ma and pa and their ma and pa were born and married, to a town where it's practically a crime at my old age of 25 to be single, to one barber, one grocer, one hardware store, and one tailor, to one fancy restaurant next town over. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. There's a lot I'm going to have to confront and deal with. But it's time I stopped running away and started walking towards. I want to see a sky full of stars, not just the patch I see from the window of my third-floor walk-up. I want to spend long, lazy afternoons at the diner over an ice-cold lemonade or a warm, fresh slice of homemade apple pie. And I want to play. I want to run through a field of daisies. I want to watch the sun rise and set. I want to fool around in the back row of a movie theater. I want to skinny dip under the stars. I want to run in the rain. I'm going to immerse myself in nature and let it take its course. I'm packing my suitcase and I'm going home. I've packed this baggage before and I've carried it to many places and many relationships. But I'm taking it back to where I got it. And maybe not tomorrow or next week, but one day in time, I'll sort through it and let go of the things that no longer fit. For the first time in my life, I have no plans.
Listen. Can you hear the darkness? Coming. Can you hear the darkness? Coming. Can you hear the darkness?
There is no companion but love.
Listen, if you can stand to it.
There is no companion but love.
Can you hear the darkness? Coming.
There is no companion but love. No beginning and no end, but a road. But a road. Take on bagno amore. No inizio fine a una strada. Hello, I am Fabriella, and you are my 1,000 lovers. This night there are no limits to what may be given, and this night, each of you is gonna get a piece of me. So what will it be? My mind, my soul, my body. What can Fabriella give to you? She lives for your joy. So all your little troubles, lay them all on me, my horny little babies. Lay them all on me. Come to Mama. Mama wants you. Mama needs you. Mama loves you. I never felt so much love. I never felt so much love. It would be so easy to lie. But for the searing truth of your eyes. They draw the truth gently from me. It only hurts a little, and it surprises me. My lovers! You know how much Fabriella wants to be with you. When you get in your cars and you leave me, when you go to your homes, when you make love, do you want me? This night will be our last together for a while. Fabriella's going on a long trip. Fabriella's going on that long horse ride into that grand sunset. 'Cause I'll tell you a little secret. Fabriella's one lonely little fucker. And I'll tell you something else. Inquiring minds wanted to know, are you ready? My real name is Courtney. Courtney fucking Coddleton from fucking Boofuck, Central Florida. Now you're scared. 'Cause didn't I say in my last interview with Rolling Stone that I would only reveal my real name on my deathbed? Well, guess what? I know a sad little fairy whose home is in an ocean and who dies every night with a kiss. A sad little fairy who is reborn every dawn with a kiss. Are you listening to me? When you look at me, see the innocent face of a girl, but the girl you see is gone. She's a lonely woman now, and she's growing smaller and weaker by the day, by the hour, by the moment. Smaller and weaker, smaller and weaker, until one day she'll implode. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? How does that make me feel? Me feel? I feel, you feel, oh, I feel okay. I'm okay. I'm okay, you're okay. Did you read that book? I read that book. How did that book make you feel? Feel happy? Feel sad? Feel angry? I feel angry. Is it okay to feel angry? Is it okay? Yes, it's okay. Your feelings matter. Your feelings are important. You're important, impotent. How does it feel to be impotent?
Fine. Of course it's fine.
Oh, imprisoned voice! Shall the glory of your despair ever make its way towards the light? Out of this hated night? Oh, imprisoned voice. This is the last of all voices.
For the first time in my life, I have no plans. And that may just be the best